It is these moments that define us. What we do in the struggle. What we do when things are hard and messy and involve doing what's right and not what is wrong. Clearly wrong. Like taking money from the NRA to uphold these laws outdated by hundreds of years. They allow for repeated killings of children.
Hi everybody, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're finding something of value here. I truly do. Okay, so I just needed to respond to what Amy Schumer is saying here, because she says you're doing stuff that's clearly wrong, taking money to uphold these laws that are outdated by hundreds of years. Clearly wrong. You know, and doing what's right when it's hard, you know. Okay, to start with, this is really important, because I think that this is where she's being hugely hypocritical, is that she talks about, you know, doing what's right when it's hard and taking money for you know, something that's clearly wrong. Right, and but this is where I want to start with, because all that other stuff is subjective. But I want to start with, but that is where she's being hypocritical. But I want to start with where she says taking money to uphold these laws that are outdated by hundreds of years. This is number one. I believe that she's purposefully misleading you here, because these are not laws. These are rights. And according to the founding fathers who wanted you to have these rights, these are God-given rights. These are obviously inherent rights to being top of the food chain on this planet. These are inherent rights for human beings. This is who we are. This is at the core of our souls. Okay, so this isn't outdated laws. These are rights, and they don't take money to uphold outdated laws. What they do is they swear an oath on their religious works of their choice, on their Bible or whatever it is, you know, their holy book. They put their hand and they swear an oath, not take money from lobbyists to protect outdated laws. They swear an oath to protect those rights that are in the Constitution, your rights. They swear an oath on their holy book, which means a lot of these people are going to burn, because they are doing a really shitty job of protecting your rights, not laws. Your rights, your God-given right to privacy, to be able to live your life without the government being able to inspect every little particle of it. That, the founding fathers wanted that. The Constitution is brilliant. And it's so strange that you guys don't like, you know, I mean, these people that are fighting to have their rights taken away, because the faces that are in the crowd that seem to be leading this fight, that they want you to believe are leading this fight, are the young people. The young people are making this happen. Oh, are you going to be eligible to vote this year? The young people are making this happen. They want you to believe that's what's going on. But and congratulations to those people. You're really getting a lot of attention. Good job. But you have to ask, do you ever ask yourselves why the Second Amendment is second, right? You know, the First Amendment is you have the right to freedom. You have the right to live your life in a free manner, however you choose. And the government, and you have the right to say the things that you think need to be said. You have that right. Again, this is an inherent right as you being top of the food chain. You know, the big-brained upright creature on this planet, you have the right to be able to express yourself in the way that you feel needs to happen. You have that absolute right. And it's not just given to you by some government. It is what it means to be top of the food chain. Okay, so you have that right. You have the right to worship whoever you want to worship, whatever deity it is that you want, to make sure your eternal soul is saved. You have that right. Okay, and this is first. First, you have the right to freedom, right? And then second, what was second? What was second? Okay, and the second thing is first, you have the right to freedom. And second, no one is ever going to take that right away from you without your permission. Set in stone, shall not be infringed. Okay, understand why this is here, to protect all the other rights. That's why it's here. That's why the Second Amendment is second. Because they believed that without this shall not be infringed, you have the absolute right to protect your freedom. You have that right. Shall not be infringed. Without it, all the other rights would be gone. This person, Amy Schumer, she's trying to mislead you into some kind of idea that this is a law. It's just a law. It's an outdated law. No, this is an inherent right as top of the food chain, set in stone by the founding fathers. Okay, and she says, what does she say? She says, oh, have the courage to do what's right. You have to have the courage to do what's right. Amy Schumer doesn't care about what's right. Let's start there, okay? Amy Schumer, in the face of having the courage to do what's right, takes a whole bunch of money from an alcohol company and then advertises for the #1 date rape drug in the world. You need to buy alcohol. You know why? Because it'll give you breast cancer. That's what Amy Schumer is. You think she doesn't know that alcohol doubles your chance of breast cancer? She does. She doesn't care about you. She cares about Amy. And you know what Amy knows? Amy knows that if she doesn't get her hooks into this audience that it looks like is leading this march, this fight, this new revolution, this government-sponsored revolution, if she doesn't get her hooks into those people in the next 12 months, Amy Schumer's a goner. It's going to be like, Amy who? So she's there not fighting for what's right. She's fighting for Amy Schumer. Okay? Fighting for what's right would be like somebody who comes out here and over again, somebody who cares about killing children would come out here and say, you know what? They're killing children in Iraq in your name with your tax dollars based on lies to make some piece of garbage rich. Some rich piece of garbage even more rich. That's what a person who would actually genuinely care about children being killed repeatedly, over and over repeatedly. They let children be killed. They'd be out here demanding that you care about that. You know who does that? I've done it. I've done it over and over again. So all you people want to look at me and say, oh, you don't care about our children. Nah, I care. I'm out here fighting constantly. You know what I care about? I care about your rights, as I've said over and over again. Your rights that the ever-growing police state tries to whittle away and take away from you over and over again. And now we have this government-sponsored revolution with this young face on it going, oh, we're going to lead the way and we're going to get a ban on assault weapons. And And they're all patting each other on the back because they had their rights taken away. Because in Florida now, those people that are, all the fresh faces that are on leading this fight, that are on TV, you know, they just took their own rights away. They can't buy a gun now. And they're all patting themselves on the back, believing somehow that they accomplished something. You don't fight to have your rights taken away. I don't come out here every fucking day to fight for your rights so you can all pat yourselves on the back when you fight to have your own rights taken away. How stupid is that? Don't worry. The government can't wait to take our rights away. You don't have to do their job for them. Please understand this. Next is freedom of speech, right? You guys are shutting down freedom of speech all over the place on college campuses, right? Because you don't like what that person has to say. Right, we protect those people's rights to have that speech because they're the first ones to get targeted by the government. They're the first ones to go, oh, everybody agrees that these people shouldn't have the right to speech, so we protect them. We say, fuck you, they have the right to speak. They have the right to speak their mind like any other member of the top of the food chain. The inherent right to do so. And you're just giving the rights away. And this Amy Schumer could care less about children dying. Otherwise, she would say something about Palestine, about kids in Gaza, about kids in Iraq, about kids in Libya, about everywhere, and kids in Yemen. She could give a fuck about kids dying. What she cares about is getting her claws into the kids, into that audience, so that she has a career for the future. That's all she cares about. And otherwise, she wouldn't be selling the #1 date rape drug on television, going, look, it's a girl doing it, so it's cool to take the #1 date rape drug in the world, where 1 million women get raped every single night because they had one drink too many. And then they get breast cancer because that's what alcohol does to you. And Amy Schumer knows this, and she took money from that company, not giving a damn about what she's encouraging you to make happen. People die from alcohol every single day. It's a horrible drug. And it's extra horrible on ladies. So she or anybody else that's encouraging women to consume alcohol could give a damn about the ladies. Okay? And I've come out here and I've talked about this in the past about women consuming alcohol and what a horrible drug it is. And it's not that I want you to take it away. I just want you to know that, you know, because some bimbo getting paid $20 million to sell you and your daughters down the river doesn't make it a good drug. Just because it's socially acceptable doesn't make it a good drug. It makes it almost guaranteed cancer, almost guaranteed at one point or another blackout conditions where you don't know what happened, how you got home, blah, blah, blah. It's a horrible drug. And you need to teach your daughters that from the time they're 5 years old. Because you can't count on people like Amy Schumer to do it. That's for sure. All right. Anyways, I thought that should be said. So, my name's Mike. This is my YouTube page. And I have the inherent right to freedom of speech to say these things. And every day, I fight to protect your right to do to live your life the way you feel it should be led. I just ask you to do it with your eyes open. That's all. Thanks very much for tuning in. Mox News survives solely on contributions from good people like yourself. Be really nice if some good people like yourself could kick down a little something for Moxie. Stay cool. One of these days this war is going to end. Till that day.
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.